the time and space to give yourself a break. Here you'll find some love, music, laughter, and above all, she'll dare to tell the truth. And so come to Granny's place and give your spirit a big boost.
Welcome to Granny's Place, a haven for love, entertainment, and uncommon sense. I'm Sweet Baby James, and I'm here to introduce you to Granny Rocks, and also to tonight's theme. Compare, contrast, and compete. Do we really have to? Let's ask Granny what she thinks about this. And here's Granny!
Welcome everybody to Granny's Place. I've missed you, so I'm so glad that you're back. And I want to remind you that we do Granny's Kitchen tonight at 7:15 Pacific. Look at all your instructions, and you can join us in the spontaneous conversation afterwards via video or phone. So have I stalled long enough? I think I have stalled long enough. Okay. Okay. You know, I started to think about that compare, contrast, compete question. And do we have to? Well, it's really interesting when you think about it. Okay. Let's say you look at babies. What is it that they seem to notice? Like a moving thing, right? Don't they get fascinated when they see like a thing move? It's like, oh, let me hit that, right?
Sure.
Why do you think that is? Because it's in contrast to everything else. It's moving, everything else is still, it catches their attention. It is the contrast that makes things stand out to us. So, for example, if you were going to think about this room and turn it all green and the exact same color green, you wouldn't see anything, would you? Because everything would be the exact same color and there would be no differentiation. Everything would just go right into everything. It would be, right?
Sure, no contrast.
No contrast. So it's natural. We actually need contrast in order to see anything, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Isn't that interesting? Well, I mean, I think it's interesting. You may find that, oh, that's so obvious. But anyway, think about it. So from a very early age, we notice contrast. And that's the way the world is designed. So, compare, contrast. We are comparing what is moving to what is not moving.
And comparing me to everything else.
Exactly. And we compare ourselves to everything else too, but we're not going to get into that yet. So this compare thing is just part of our normal functioning. We're always comparing. Now, are we also contrasting? Yes. Well, of course, I've been talking really about contrasting all this time, but the thing about contrasting is that we have to be comparing to see that they're contrasting. So it kind of goes together, right? I hope I'm not getting too esoteric or too
They go together.
obnoxious. Okay, everybody gets
I got
this?
that.
Okay, you got that. Okay, so you're saying like, Granny, would you please wake up and say something of significance? Well, I just have said something of significance because the fact is we're always seeing differences, and that's how we function in the world. Supposing we were walking down the road, and the road looked exactly like the street, and the street looked like the house, and the house looked like the people inside. We couldn't even function. Good wait. We couldn't stay on the road because it would look like the street, which would look like the people.
And the house.
And the house. And the dog and everything else. So it's really necessary. Well, so what's the problem? So why do we say, well, stop comparing yourself to her? Well, stop comparing yourself to him. That's the problem. Well, it's like, okay, it's not neutral. The problem is we're comparing, we're contrasting, that's normal, that's healthy, that's necessary. But see, we don't just compare and contrast. Oh no, we have an agenda. Right, don't we?
Yeah.
Who's better? Is the street better than the road? Is the house better than the people? Probably. Actually, anyway, I'm not going to say that. But, is the moving toy better? So, you see what I mean? It's like, all right. It's getting a little bit complicated here. I thought we were just comparing and we're saying everything was the same, and that if it isn't the same...
And we're also judging. We're making judgments.
That's the point. We're not comparing and contrasting. We're judging. Now, what is the purpose of judging? Let's get into that in a minute. So I want to say that discernment, we're going to use this highfalutin word, discernment. Discernment is about seeing, of being aware. Now, for example, talking about judging, supposing I'm wanting to join a dating service, and I'm a human being. So I go online and I'm looking for dating services, and I find a wombat dating service. I think, should I join? I don't want people to think I'm prejudiced. I don't want anyone to think that I'm judging those wombats. Yes, I think I'd better be politically correct, and I am going to join the wombat dating service. But then I'm going to end up married to a wombat. I mean, is that really a sensible way to go? So awareness, discernment, see? So we have to judge in the sense that we have to look at things honestly and see, is this a good match? You know what I mean? Now, you want to add a little more confusion to this? There are times when we really are scared of contrast. And with good reason. Supposing you are a wabbit, and there is whatever eats rabbits. Wolf. Now, if you're blending, maybe he won't see you. Right?
Right.
But if you stand out, he's going to get you. And not only that, supposing you're the wolf, you don't want everybody to see you. I mean, you know how it is with big game, like the mountain lion. Mm-hmm. They're stealthy, right? They don't want you to see them before it's time. They want to blend. So there are times when blending is a good thing. But then there are times when blending isn't a good thing. See, I'm going to explain how all this adds up in a minute. So, let's say you're a child, and there is 16 children in the family, and you blend. Well, is that a good thing? Well, it depends. If your father or mother is a raging alcoholic, maybe blending is a good thing. Blend, baby, blend. But if you're looking for, if the parent is looking for the stellar child who has some great quality, well, then blending is a bad thing because you only have one chicken and 16 kids. So the one who stands out is mama's helper or daddy's, whatever it is, chip off the old blockade or whatever it is. At that point, blending isn't such a good thing, is it? So you see how subjective and relative all of this stuff is. It's really not so simple. It's not like, oh, well, we should all blend, we should all contrast, or we should stand out. We shouldn't stand out. It's like, what should we do?
We develop our survival strategy to get our needs met.
Exactamundo. So, as that child in the family, you develop a strategy for survival based on blend or don't blend, right? And who are you going to blend for and who are you not going to blend for? So let's say mommy is rageful and you've got to get out of her, so you've got to have the blending personality for mommy, unless you can overcome mommy and then you just want to scare the shit out of her. But anyway, let's say you do the blending thing for mommy, but daddy I'm Daddy's girl, right? And so as Daddy's girl, I want to stand out. So I've got to blend for Mommy, stand out for Daddy. What kind of personality am I going to develop? Am I going to be a blender? Or am I going to be a standouter? You think I'm kidding? Think about it. I want you guys to actually think about this topic.
Well, we all want attention, don't we?
Well, but do we?
Unless it's not safe to get the
Exactly.
attention.
Does that rabbit want attention?
No.
No, not at that moment. See, we have a lot of assumptions on this topic, like we all want attention.
Oh, that's so true.
See, so I'm glad you said that. You fell into my trap.
Uh-oh.
Right? That was good. I needed you to fall into the trap. Exactly. So think about your own childhood.
Mm-hmm.
And were you a blender or were you an outstander?
I had to stand out.
And you had to stand out. And for whom? Whom did you want to stand out for? Both
For my father.
Your father, but what about your mother? Did you want to blend?
Yeah, when she was angry and upset, I wanted to blend.
Exactly. So Mama's angry, so you have to develop a blending personality for Mama, and you have to develop a standing out personality for Dad. And supposing they're in the same room at the same time, are you supposed to blend? You're supposed to stand out? What are you supposed to do? You've got to get your needs met. You've got to figure this thing out. So
he held the most authority, so I'd stand out for him.
there it is. So you made a choice. If you had to choose between
Aligned with
blending,
the stronger one.
exactly. So you
The one
aligned
with the power.
Exactly. So now I want everybody out there to be thinking on this topic. Which did you do, and for whom? And did you choose one personality over another? And then you think that's you, right? Because you've been conditioned to blend or to stand out, right?
Yeah.
So this is a simplified version, of course, of what actually goes on, but it will give you an idea. So now we're talking about compare, contrast, compete, right? So we're comparing our parents, and we're contrasting them, and we're figuring out which one of them is going to give us what we want, right? So we're comparing and we're contrasting. It's all about survival, safety. What am I going to do? Is this thing that's coming down the road really just a blue basketball? Or is it an extraterrestrial? And should I run home scared? Should I freeze on the street? Or is it really just a basketball that's coming down the road? How do I know? You see, we're always on the alert. Right?
It's a heads-up ball game, as they say in basketball.
Because you just never know, right?
Yeah.
So it's natural for us to be constantly on the alert for what's there to make sure that the thing that is standing out isn't dangerous, right?
Right.
So we're always like looking. So how can we stop comparing and contrasting? Well, we really can't, can we? But we can start becoming more conscious of what we're doing and why we're doing it. Now, what about the compete part? Well, don't we all know this one? So this is where it gets really good. I am comparing myself to my little sister. And she's younger and cuter and nicer, and Mommy likes girls better. So now, if I'm going to get Mommy's attention, I got to compete. I got to compete with that 2-day-old bitch. And how am I going to compete? Well, I have to contrast. I've got to be different from her in some way because she's got the edge. You know, she's already different because she's younger and she's cuter and she's the last child, or Mommy's hoping that she's whatever it is, but I have to compete. So now, what is my intention? This will come as no surprise to you. This will come as no surprise to you. This is no surprise to you. It's all about the motivation, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
See, now I'm in the real world, right? Where I'm not just neutrally comparing and contrasting. I am comparing and contrasting with a purpose. And that purpose is survival. Feels like winning. Now, let's say you've got this really fast cougar. And that cougar has only so much energy because that cougar is going to put out 1 ton of energy going after its prey, right? So it's got to compare and contrast itself with its prey. Who looks stronger? Who looks more robust? And then that cougar is going to look at all the, whatever it is, going after the elk or the deer. And it's going to compare and contrast all the deer, and it's going to look for the one that looks the weakest. And that's the one it's going to go after. And it has to, doesn't it? So don't we have to do the same thing? Aren't we always looking for the weaker, the weak link, the guy that we can go after so that we can win, that we can win, we can win, 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 win. So we have to do this to win, win, win. Oh no, I just can't get away from this compare, contrast, compete thing because I have to win. Well, you know, there is some truth to that. I'm not going to deny that. I eat food, you know. I overpower the vegetables at the market. Not to speak of eating meat, which I hate to do, but I do, because my body can't function without it. But I mean, you know, chicken and fish and stuff like that. I hate that. I have won the competition. I don't like it, but I do it. However, do I have to compete about everything?
No.
Right answer. Okay, so I'm in my family. And my mother happens to be a very calm, cool, collected, loving person. Generous, energetic, balanced, takes care of herself. And she has 2.3 children, not 16, or 1, or whatever she can manage. And so does my other mother, or my dad, or however the family is. And she looks at her children and she compares them. But now she's not comparing them for which of those children is feeding my ego the most and who should I take care of and who should I love the most. She's looking at children to think, I see the difference between Sweet Baby James and Granny Rocks. Sweet Baby James needs this. Granny Rocks needs that. Compare and contrast. Not compete. Right?
Right.
She's trying to help me. That's why she's looking at me. She's trying to figure out what I need. Oh my God. Compare and contrast. No competition. Imagine that.
Imagine if we all did that, huh?
Imagine if we all did that. Now, let's take another kind of scenario. I'm going to buy a house. It's a hot market. Everybody is competing for that house. Oh my God! I'm with the real estate agent. 3 people have already come in the last 20 minutes to look at that house. My God, I have to make a bid on that house. I don't like it, but I have to make a bid on it because I've got to compete, because I have to win, because if I don't get this, I'm not going to have a house, and it's impossible. And then my children will hate me because they'll have no place to sleep, and I will never take a shower because we won't have a bathroom because we'll be out on the street. And that's not good, is it?
Oh, no.
So we make the bid on the house that I don't really want, but at least I won.
Yeah, that's the important thing.
Now I have to figure out how to get out of that contract. Suddenly I realize I really don't want that house at all. All I wanted to do was win the competition because I was so fear-based. I was so anxious that I was going to lose that house, and I bought the house I didn't want. Or I didn't put in the bid in time. Oh no! Someone put in the bid 2 seconds before I did. Oh no! There are 17 other applicants for that rental apartment. Oh my God! Oh my God! I lost my house. I didn't compete well. I lost the race. I lost the job. What do you do? So, you're comparing yourself, you're contrasting the experience from what you wanted to have happen, and you're competing. Well, guess what? You don't have to do that either. You could just say, oh, I guess that wasn't my house. Somebody else got it? It's their house. Oh my God. What a relief.
What if somebody gets the job you wanted?
Same difference. Not my job. See, this is where something crazy comes in. Faith.
Faith.
Faith. Hard to have faith in this world, I tell you. It's not my job. It's not my house. It never was mine. You can't lose what you don't have. Right?
Right.
If it's mine, they'll drop out of escrow. I'll get a call. Oh my God, all the inspections are done. You don't have to pay for any of it. Do you still want that house? And I say, yeah! Or I say, no, I don't want that. Now that I bought another house, it's much better. Right? Right? But you see what I'm saying? What creates the danger of compare, contrast, and compete is obviously not having enough. Not having enough to go around. Not having enough love in a family. Not having enough money. Not having enough food. Not having enough housing. Not having enough clean water. Not having enough income for everybody. That causes competition, doesn't it? So the problem isn't comparing and contrasting. The problem is when we're comparing in order to find a way to beat out everybody we're competing with. When we can add, of course, it becomes so habitual. It's like people just sit around and say, did you see Magnolia the other day? That outfit she had on was so ridiculous. Oh my God. Or Buzz. Oh my God. What is he thinking with that stupid car that he just bought? Boy, he's going to feel embarrassed in 6 weeks when it falls apart. It's like gossip, 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 gossip.
That's competition too.
That is competition.
Putting other people down places you up.
We don't even realize it. We are constantly comparing and contrasting to make ourselves look better. Well, remember back at home when we were worried about the children, right? There wasn't enough. We get used to competing in the stupidest little ways from the beginning of time. I really believe, and you can't count on this because I don't even know for sure, but from what I have seen in my life, and what I really believe is that if we had real abundance, I mean abundance on the inside, enough love, enough feelings of safety in our world, then we would not have to compete to have our needs met. And so then compare and contrast would be for beneficial purposes. It's like, gee, I'm noticing that you're looking down in the mouth today. Oh, I think you may need something. How can I help? Not, oh my God, I see your weaknesses. You look weak today. Oh boy, I'm gonna get you today. Oh, I see your weak spots. So you see there's another side of this, which is really deadly. Not only are we like driven to contrast and compare and compete because we feel like our survival is at stake, makes us stress, makes us enemies of one another. But I'm also afraid of you comparing and contrasting me to a healthy person or who I was yesterday or a smarter person or something, because you're going to find me lacking. Then you're going to find the jugular vein and you're going to go after it. And I'm going to be mashed potatoes or dead or something terrible. So now I'm afraid because competition means that I'm the prey and you're the predator. So do you see what I'm saying? It's not the problem of comparing and contrasting. We need that, right?
Yeah.
It's the motivation. It's the fear that we feel about other people doing it to us. Oh yeah, somebody noticed that I had a pimple on my nose today, and oh my God, she's going to try to get my boyfriend. Or you know what I'm saying?
Would you tell us more about the alternative? I mean, you've mentioned faith, you've mentioned feeling abundant within yourself.
Yes. Well, how about building a society where we trust each other and we know that our needs are going to get met? It's like, okay, I didn't get that house, but there are other houses. I didn't get that job, but there's either other jobs or there's enough income. I didn't get that guy, but he doesn't love me anyway. And so, there's enough love in my life to carry me through. That's the alternative. And when we have that, I guess, I have never lived in a den of rabbits. But I don't imagine that they kill each other, do they?
I don't think so.
So that's what I mean. So like if we're all together and we see our connection to one another and we're trying to co-create a safer world, then it's okay to compare. It's okay to contrast, but we don't need to compete. And we will notice automatically we stop comparing and contrasting, because when our motivation of either protecting ourselves from others or winning out over them, when that's gone, we relax. So I think that the rabbits who are together are not alert the way they are when the wolves are around or whoever eats rabbits. And please forgive me if I picked the wrong thing, because, I don't remember everything, right? So do you get what I mean?
Yes.
So it isn't the thing itself. It's why we have it, why we do it, and the impact that it has on us. I would like you to think for the next week about what do you tend to compare yourself with? Like, do you tend to compare yourself to, if you're a woman, to other women, or if you're bisexual to other bis, or are you comparing yourself to heterosexuals, or, if you're a woman, are you comparing yourself to men, or what the heck are you comparing yourself with all the time? And what are you looking for? What are you hoping to see? Are you hoping to see that you're better? Are you hoping to see that you're smarter? Are you hoping to see that you're stronger? What are you hoping to see, and why? And where did that come from? And look back into your soul.
Or are you afraid to see that you don't measure up and you're comparing to somebody who's more proficient in some area?
Well, exactly, but why? What do you need to measure up for?
Really?
What do you need to win for? What are you trying to win anyway? It's a little bit late for you to win your father's approval. He's been long dead. So do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Let's just go back, take a look at how we were raised, whether we wanted to stand out or we wanted to blend, and why. Take a look at what we're comparing all the time. why we're comparing ourselves in that way, see what we're afraid of, and see if we don't start kicking the habit of putting others down, putting ourselves down, or competing. Thank you, and join us for Granny's Kitchen. Just take a look at our Facebook post, and you'll see how. See you next week.